Do you even remember how hard it was when you started to remove all the junk food out of your diet? When you started to stop those habits of scrolling or watching porn and doing bad habits like jerking off? Do you remember how actually hard that was? Because as humans, we tend to put pain that we have faced in the back of our heads. We just forget about that because it's just how it is. We don't like to remember what was once painful and something that was constantly in our head that felt like a full-time job. Now it just seems like the normal. We just tend to eat clean, we don't scroll, we focus on doing the best, doing our work, improving ourselves, because that has become your new identity. That's who you are. Maybe you're still struggling with some snacks here and there, but at least you have made this insane progress and you're aware of any bad foods and you just avoid them. But do you realize how hard it is for your parents, man? Your family, those who have been indulging in these bad foods their entire lives. For 50 years, they have been building this habit. And now you come along and tell them, stop eating that, stop eating this, stop eating this. Do you think they're actually gonna make a change, man? If it was genuinely so hard for you, think back, man. The times where you were trying to quit sugar completely, the times where you were trying to stop scrolling and jerking off. How hard was that? It felt like a full-time job. So imagine how hard it is for your family when they have work, they have bills, they have to take care of certain people. How hard it is to quit these bad habits, man. And so instead of being pushy and trying to convince them to make a change, let's actually just look at how their life is. Let's have some empathy here because it's not easy. We need to see the situation from above where we can actually see what's the best strategy, because as we have seen, it doesn't work to tell them that's unhealthy, that's not good. You see with my face I get some acne if I have those foods. Stop cooking that. Stop cooking in vegetables. Stop cooking in olive oil that also oxidizes and it's like a vegetable oil. Stop cooking in margarine, which is this fake butter full of vegetables. Don't cook in Teflon pans. Cook in aluminium. And it's constantly you every day. Just try to get them to eat healthier. Try to improve their health. And it doesn't work. Perhaps it even affects your health and you get some acne from it. You don't look as strong, you're not building as much muscle, you're feeling low energy, and it's not like your family doesn't feel those things, but they just hide the symptoms. They take certain sleep pills, they take caffeine, they have terrible sleep, and they just have screw it. It is how it is, and they don't do nothing about it, and they gain weight, they get sicker, they get back problems, all these issues, which sure they do come to age, they're more prominent, but of course, as we know, diet plays a big role. And so today I was on this call with my client, and he actually asked me, how do I get my parents to eat cleaner? Because I am a chef, and so this was my client told me. He is a chef, and so he cooks for his family. And so he tries to make the food as safe as possible, but he got this certain food which is very healthy, looks healthy on the package, something like this, oh, looks healthy, but then you look at the ingredients, he has some sweeteners. And so he was asking me, oh, are sweeteners good? I feel like I'm poisoning my family by cooking these good recipes in them. And in some degree, yeah, sweeteners, they are better than straight up sugar. They're gonna cause you less of a blood sugar spike, most likely. Things like sucralose that still spikes your insulin, which can then cause acne. Even though it's a sweetener that doesn't spike blood sugar, it does still spike insulin. Now things like stevia, glucose, those don't tend to cause insulin spike as much, and they're more natural. But still, the you're gonna find these ingredients on foods that you shouldn't really be eating. But if you're gonna still indulge in some, those are the best options, okay? And so what do? I feel like I'm poisoning my family in cooking when he has these sweeteners. And so I gave him this insane perspective that it's actually gonna allow you to save your parents and make them change. Because it's very hard to teach an old dog new tricks. It's like a saying, it's hard to make somebody change behaviors they have been doing for so many years. And so here's the perspective I gave to my client. When you make those healthy recipes, which still have some sweeteners, so they're not super healthy, you tell your family, oh family, I made some nice desserts for you guys because I don't want you to go to the supermarket and eat some junk. I made some healthy dessert, okay? And then you tell them, but this isn't so healthy, okay? It has some sweeteners in it. But once in a while it's okay, right? And and they all laugh, and you give them the nice healthy food. But in their minds, they think, oh, this isn't so healthy. My moderation the mindset they have of moderation. Oh, once in a while, once a day, that's okay. Oh, okay, I've already done that for today. This thing right here is not so healthy. And then they're gonna think, okay, wait. If this right here, which just has, if this right here looks healthy but isn't so healthy, my son told me it isn't healthy, then what the hell is even the supermarket stuff? The supermarket stuff full of processed junk, so many artificial stuff, that is beyond unhealthy. So I'm gonna stick with my, not so unhealthy meal, which just has some sweeteners, but the way you tell them, and it's your perspective, okay? You just change your perspective into thinking something that is not so healthy is unhealthy, and then they're gonna see the real unhealthy stuff as super unhealthy, and they're not gonna touch it. No, I stick with my moderation, not so unhealthy. And this way, you can actually start changing their minds by playing their games, by playing the mindset that they have of comfortability, of moderation. Once in a while it's okay. And just like that, you won. Because slowly they're gonna start acting as you want to act and create beliefs that are the good ones, that the supermarket stuff is unhealthy. I'm just gonna stick with my moderation, not so healthy, the dessert that my son made with whole foods. And bam. Because a person will only make a change, will only act in a way based on the beliefs they have. Our actions simply reflect our beliefs. So my brother got these burgers right here, which look so healthy, but you turn the back, look at the list of the ingredients right here, man. This has corn flour, this has random preservatives, so much nonsense. Why? Because it's cheap meat. Doesn't even look like meat, man. It has pork mixed, so it's fake ground beef. Absolute nonsense. And my brother made this, and guess what? I refused to eat it. I refused. And so I went to the chicken store and got my chicken, which is no vegetable oils, no crap, just chicken. And why did this happen? Because I have beliefs that I will not eat any junk food, any processed nonsense with so many nonsense like pork, which is inflammatory, and who the hell even knows, man? There's things here that I don't even understand. There's corn flour. Why would meat have corn flour? How does that make sense? And my brother ate this, of course, because he has beliefs of, everything in moderation is fine. Who cares about health? The cheapest, the better. I can just save up money. I have the beliefs that you should invest as much as possible for quality food, because you either pay now on the food, or you pay later in the hospital feeling horrible about yourself, full of acne, with brain fog, low energy. So I'm willing to take the investment. It's always going to be reflected on my beliefs. Our actions are simply reflections of our beliefs. And so your family is indulging in these quick pleasures, these bad habits, because of their beliefs. So you need to play their own game and take it slow. Okay? If you want to help your mom to lose weight, don't just tell her, Mom, you gotta cut out the junk. You can't have a cup of wine here and there like you're doing. You can't eat the chocolate at night. Screw that. She's not gonna follow the plan. She's gonna go back into her old habits, maybe feel worse about herself, which makes it worse. She's not gonna do it. So instead, approach in a way that, Mom, I believe in you. You can do this. And you just tell her, okay, you gotta eat 2,000 calories for the day. That's how we're gonna lose weight. And so you can have some chocolate late at night if you just keep up with your calories. Like, if you have calories left, just eat this at lunch, this at dinner, and then you have calories left for the chocolate, and that's all good. You can still have your nice meal that you like, and bam, you help her lose weight while keeping her satisfied with her beliefs, and you win. This is how you need to play to help others, man. You need to see things in a broader perspective and put yourself in the other's perspective. Empathy. And that's how I have actually been able to help my family to eat cleaner, because, man, I've struggled a lot. It's just a genuine frustration every day, some discussions, because I have other beliefs than they have. I've struggled deeply with acne, and I don't want that to keep going. So even natural sugars, things like rice, potatoes, pasta, which are totally common in the house, I tend to avoid them, and my parents can go crazy of that. But they now start to be aware, because they see my skin getting so much better, and they're like, what the hell? He's actually right. And they start changing their beliefs. So you need to show, and then they'll start to believe. You gotta show first. So if your parents don't buy quality water, they're forcing you to drink tap water, go on your own and go buy some spring water. If you just have Teflon pans in your house, go buy some ceramic pans and literally say, oh, my friend gifted me this because I helped him on something. And that's what I did. And so I actually give to all my clients so many recipes right here, whole food recipes that they can cook for their families, and also keep them satisfied and not fall into cravings for sugar, for snacks and artificial nonsense. We keep helping the world because that's what we're here for. We can't just elevate and let others behind. We gotta pull them with us. I know it's hard, and they're not gonna listen, because you can only change a person who truly wants to change. You give them advice, oh bro, don't do that. 1 month later, they're doing it again. Because you didn't change their beliefs. You need to change their beliefs by being their friend, by playing the game that they have, and slowly they doing the good actions. Just like I told you with the family stuff. You tell them that the healthy food is unhealthy. They start seeing the supermarket as super unhealthy, and they stay away from that, and they seek with the moderation mid and healthy. That's how you do it. So subscribe if you enjoyed this, and comment down below, what are you gonna do to save your family? Let's make a movement here, man. Each one of us has to do a good action and save our family today. What are you gonna do? Comment down below, and see you on the next one.